Good morning, folks. Friday morning, 8:25 or thereabouts, a little bit before. And it's been quite a cool night. 9 degrees inside the tent. Probably a degree or three cooler out here, outside. But let me show you the surroundings. You see the buildings over yonder? The sun is on them all the way around. The sun is out. But where I am, just stepping over the dog lead, where I am, I'm surrounded by these trees off to the east. So the sun is low down behind those trees there. Another hour, maybe hour and a half before we get the sun up properly here. And it's 2 hours. Oh, I'm going to get my foot over the dog lead. 2 hours before we get the sun on the solar panels proper. I got one of them in the right direction. Haven't brought the other one out yet. I'm just about to go and walk the doggy. I just want to show you that last night I suspended this picnic blanket in the open doorway here. Doesn't reach anymore. Doesn't get close to closing. Because this tent is like a dome, well, an arch. As things slide further down, they get further apart, and everything is moving away. So the door doesn't close. My bedroom door doesn't. The zips bust. So having the wind just blow through the tent's not great. So I tried this last night, and on the whole, it worked. For the first half of the night, anyway. Then I woke up 4 o'clock this morning, and there'd been some wind, and the picnic blanket had fallen on the floor. It was actually the other way out to begin with the black to the outside. But obviously, in the middle of the night, I just hung it up and not given a damn which way or what. But it made a difference. But it was quite a cool night. It's quite cool now. I'm out now because Her Ladyship, my mate Tina here. Hey babe, say hello to the peoples. Yeah. She's ready to go. She if she gets up on all fours on the bed and starts licking my face and whimpering, it means that she's ready to go and call her nature. She lets me know. That's a good thing. She's a good girl. I'm not the greatest daddy. Here's the thing. It goes dark 6 o'clock. So 5:30 I take her for her walkies. Some nights we might come out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Sometimes midnight or even 2 o'clock. This night that kind of didn't happen. I fell asleep early and woke up at 3 o'clock, and I've been awake since 3. But we didn't. I mean, it was too cold to be coming outside. So poor little lady's gone. Let's say 6 o'clock until whatever time I just said it was. 8:30 nearly. 25 past 8. 14 and a half hours. That's not great, is it? I haven't gone that long. I might be poor. There's an expression in English. You can't afford a pot to piss in. I have a pot. I used to, listen, this time last year, where this tent is now, was my bed on the floor. You see that mattress there? I didn't even have that. I was laying on a sunbed mattress, you know, the type of thing around the pool when you got the recliners and things. A little mattress from that, and oh, you can see the rubber mat that I had. Haven't used it in quite some time, but yeah, folded in roughly thirds there. That was the rubber mat that went on the floor. Then there was the sunbed mattress. I had the 2 picnic blankets, like the one that you just saw in the doorway, they're tucked under the mattress and up and over. And inside there I would put initially it was towels. I didn't have blankets. Initially it was 3 or 4 towels that I'd found. So I had those 2 blankets, the mattress, that rubber mat. Well, for the first month I didn't have half of those things. Those were acquired over the first month. To begin with, I had the two picnic blankets were mine. I should do a video really of the development of my bed, or bedding system, as people in the military might call it. The development of my bedding over that first year or so. I should do that. It'd be an interesting thing. I'm just noticing, you can tell I'm tired, guys. You can tell I woke up early and that I haven't slept much. That eye is, I think Americans call it walleye. Yeah, okay. I am ego. It's okay. I accept this. I know this to be the case. Never a good looking bloke. I know that. I live with that. I accept it. I work with it. Okay, let me take her ladyship for her walkies. We'll come back and we'll do what we need to do. We'll talk about my bed situation and stuff. I think I'm going to do 3 or 4. I'm going to do a year in review. And I might break it down into 4. I don't know if they're going to be videos or live streams. Somewhere between now and the new year. A year in review, or maybe my entire tramp hood. Hobo hood? Homeless hood. I don't know. In review. Something like that. But later. Fuck. I swore already. I was going to keep it family friendly. Like the rest of my life, I failed. You don't end up living in a tent in the middle of a field in a country where you don't speak the language without some degree of failure in your life. I had many successes. I did well for quite a while. But you don't end up here without some failures. And I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking at... Let's end it there. Later. Hey guys, we're probably somewhere around 20 minutes after sunrise. 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Don't know exactly. I'd have to look at the weather app for a proper accurate guide. But so far this month I haven't done an actual sunrise video. I will do one in the next few days. Probably. Maybe this weekend. We'll try. Let's have a look. Here we go. The sun's low in the sky. Maybe if I was to hold 2 fingers out at arm's length, that would be, each finger is about 15 minutes. It's about half an hour. So they tell me. Someone who once had some training told me once. Around sunrise and sunset for a few hours, 4 fingers would be an hour above the, and you can see it's less than. And I don't have big man hands. I got my mum's hands. My dad had has hands like buckets. But, lovely morning though. Bloody cold though. It's not so much that it's cold per se, but the wind. When it's a cool temperature and then you've got a wind blowing on you, and I'm facing the wind now roughly. Maybe a bit more around there. So the wind's coming from the west, maybe slightly north by northwest. No, west by northwest. only slightly further around than west. But oh, it's cold actually. Yeah, it's quite a breeze blowing. I'm hoping it hasn't been too much in the microphone. I'm trying to cut my hand around and reduce any noise, but who knows? But it's bloody beautiful to look at. It is a lovely spot. I said before that we're so lucky to we live at the seaside. Let's see whether it's Tina trying to get in the frame. That's my girl. But look at this. I know you'll probably get sick of seeing the same shots, the same stretch of beach, but this is where we live. I don't get sick of it. Now it's a lot more, I guess it's been whipped up by the wind. It's the noise and the waves are a bit more vigorous than normal, or more vigorous than usual is probably the better phrasing. But it's beautiful. My difficulty filming the sunrise is that the ground's so uneven. I can't just put my phone stand on the ground. I need to bring like a bucket or a bowl, put a bowl on the ground and then set my phone stand on that bucket or bowl and then film. Which means that I can't go and do the full dog walk afterwards. I can't walk around carrying this bowl of, you know, washing up bowl or bucket. Okay folks, that's the view of the Mediterranean Friday morning. Look at that. Gorgeous. There's a phrase the other day, picture postcard beautiful. Really nice. If only my camera and camera work were better. But that's the full 360. Okay folks, later. Okay guys, 8:50 in the morning, and I just got back from the dog walk, and I just happened to step inside the tent for a couple of seconds to grab something. And I went in, and I've explained before that I just hung this this picnic blanket over the open doorway for the first time last night. I stepped inside, and I instantly realised how much warmer it was in there than out here, or how much warmer it felt. So here's a question. How much warmer is it? And do thermometers feel the wind chill factor? See, temperature's a funny thing. You know, if you get up in the morning and you're in a, like if you're in a Spanish apartment with the tiled floors, the ceramic tiles, in winter the floor will feel cold, and then you'll stand on the mat and it feels so much warmer. But it's not. The laws of thermodynamics dictate that that mat is exactly the same temperature as the floor. Weird, eh? But that's how temperature works. It over time it spreads and it equalizes. So having a whole night, it equalizes. So the thermal conductivity of the mat is less than the floor. So the floor will take away the heat more quickly out of your bare feet than the mat will. They're at the same temperature, but thermal conductivity is different. And that's why the ceramic floor feels colder than the mat. And similarly with the wind, does a thermometer, I don't know if a thermometer feels a wind chill factor. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay folks, 8:53. Couple of the elements of the LCD on the right hand digit are missing. That upper right hand bit on the bottom, the lower portion. So that's 8:53. But below that, 9.6 degrees. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this clock outside. And I'm just going to sit it outside in the open for 3, 4, 5 minutes and see what temperature we get outside for comparison. I got no idea how this is going to work. Let's see. That's what an experiment's all about, isn't it? Don't have preconceived ideas of the results. Okay. I got it in my hand. I got a doggy nuisance inside the tent. Go on, out. Carefully, slowly. Oh. Here we go. Okay folks, 8:55. And it's reading 9 point... Is that 9.6? Or 9.8? That's 9.6. Let's give it 5 minutes to stabilise and see where we're at on the hour, or just after. Okay. Okay folks, it's literally just turned 9 o'clock. Let's take a look at the clock stroke thermometer and see what we got. Oh, we got that. That's like I said, the bottom and the top right of the 9 o'clock of the zero, those aren't working. And we're reading 9.2. How clear is that? I think you can see that's 9.2. Yeah, there's no doubt in that. Oh, just went to 9.1. Okay. Well, I mean the temperature is still the thermometer is still stabilising a little. I'm not sure how rapidly it adjusts, but it's not that big a difference. What, half a degree or so? But that doesn't take account of wind chill. It feels a lot colder out here than it does inside the tent. Even in the what I call the vestibule, just inside the doorway, the non-bedroom part. So to get into the bedroom, you've got to go in through here, past the other part, in through another door, and then inside. Tina was just nudging the clock with her nose. She's not happy with it. Anything that's freestanding and that can move, she'll nudge with her nose. That's my darling. Hey, that's enough. She's barking at a dog that's barking off in the distance. Okay folks, so just over 9 degrees now, and I would say that now it's probably warmer than it was 2, 3, 4 hours ago. I think from 4 o'clock onwards it was colder than this, or felt colder than this. But I was inside the tent in bed. Haven't been doing the hot water bottle thing for the last couple of weeks. Haven't done that at all. If I saw on a forecast, if they were predicting temperatures, I think last night they were predicting 11 degrees. If I saw a prediction of 9 or 8, I would probably get a hot water bottle ready, because typically we're 2 to 3 degrees cooler than the forecast says at night. I have seen a difference in the last week or 10 days. I saw a differential of about 5 degrees one night, and not that late into the night. This was like 10 or 11 o'clock. There was a 5 degree difference between what the forecast said and what the thermometer was reading inside the tent. So it's a thing to be wary of. And I'm still, look at me, it's still shorts, and it is just a t-shirt and a shirt. Now this time last year I didn't have a tent. I didn't even have a shelter. I made my first shelter out of 6 mop handles, broom handles, and an old tarpaulin that had holes in the roof. holes that had lots of holes in it. I made that halfway through January. Prior to that, we were just living on the floor. On the bed that I described earlier, the rubber mat, sunbed mattress, 2 picnic blankets and towels and blankets and whatever else I could find at the time. I had a tarp, I had a small tarp, 3 meters by 2 meters by this time last year. Just found it around that time. So on the cold nights where the dew point, where we get below the dew point and the condensation all forms, the tarpaulin would save us from about 80% of the moisture, but the 2 picnic blankets would be wet on the outside, and we'd walk off to the cliff tops about 500 meters that way. When I've done the walks and you've seen me go along to the left here and down to the cove, along and then up some steps and across, and then onto some steps. To begin with, we used to go there and dry the bedding in the morning on the backs of the benches, the public seats. And then one day we found this, the clothes airer, clothes dryer, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you use for such a thing. We found this, and it was rusty even back then. It's even more rusty now, obviously. But someone had thrown it away. Let's look at this again. This rusty piece of metalwork changed my life. I didn't have to get up at 7 in the morning and head off to the cliff tops to sit on a bench hanging my bedding out to dry. Didn't have to do that anymore. I could sit here and wait for this sun that's poking through the tree almost. Tina girl, you've been annoying. I could sit here or stand here and wait for the sun to just come around and get onto the clothes maid and start drying my clothes. Now I still went to those same benches, but I didn't have to take my bedding with me. I could put it here. Or I could have a day in camp and have things dry there. Revolutionary. The little things that can change your life. You don't believe me, do you? A clothes maid, clothes airer, clothes dryer. Call it what you will. It was revolutionary. Okay folks, well, we had that little aside about my history and not having a tent and my bedding and clothes maids. The temperature here is continuing to drop. Now I would posit it's actually getting warmer here right now. But what's happening is the thermometer on this clock is programmed not to change too rapidly. So when I've brought it outside and it's felt the temperature change, it doesn't want to be displaying rapid ups and downs. So it's probably taking some kind of average over a longer run, maybe over 15 or 20 minutes, I don't know. The days, I'm staring now, I've got the sun kind of shining through a tree on my face. You can see that? Yeah, you can see that. The phone's showing that. It has to be getting warmer now that the sun is rising in the sky. But the thermometer is showing a decrease in temperature. That has to be just a mathematical thing to do with running averages, long term, well, not long term, but running averages certainly. Anyway, I'm gonna go get back inside because I'm actually cold standing here prattling on to you guys. What I'm gonna do, Tina, what I'm gonna do is put this panel on this chair where the solar panel is. Can you see that the sun is starting to shine? You can see my shadow maybe on the side of the tent. If I move this chair a little bit around here and put the solar panels on it, then we can be harvesting some solar earlier than if we didn't do that. And it's still only 9. God, a couple of bits missing. I can't. I can't work out what that. Have a look. What temperature is that? What time is that? Let me think. The bottom and the top right are potentially missing from that number. That's 9:11. Is the most likely that I can think of. Let me check on my watch. Yeah, my watch is 9:12, so yeah, 9:11 is the I'm playing detective games with the bloody clock. It's done me well, considering I pulled that out of a bin a little bit less than a year ago. That was probably in the January or February. Pulled that out of a bin with a battery in it, fully working. And those 2 bits that are not working at the minute, those 2 bits of the LCD, they were working fine back then. The entire thing was fine, working brilliant. Somebody just didn't want it. I don't know. I haven't found. I don't use all the functionality. There are second time zones and alarms and things built in that I've just never needed, never used. It's entirely possible that something became unreliable in a part of it that I don't utilise. I don't know. What do I know? I'm a tramp. I pull shit out of a bin. I haven't been doing that lately. A guy who came to know me, Henning, from Norway. German or Dutch name, but he's from Norway. His wife has a proper Norwegian name that I can't begin to get my head around. If you happen to see this Henning and Henning's wife, I love you, mate. Thank you. But he stopped by the camp a couple of weeks ago and was surprised that I'd put on a little bit of weight. I'd lost a hell of a lot when he met me, when he knew me. I was down from 100 kilograms, 200 pounds, 102, 3, 4, 5 kilograms. Originally 105 kilograms. Down to 67 kilos. But I was doing a lot of walking and not a lot of eating back then. Nowadays, not so much walking. Because you guys help me, and people around here bring me food and things. I just noticed the temperature continues to fall. It's a real slow changing, whatever the algorithm is inside this. I would suggest it's probably a degree cooler than it's currently stating, and it's just going to fall gradually over time. But I haven't got the time. I'm going to be putting my solar panel... It fell while I was talking. I'm going to be putting my solar panels here within the next couple of minutes. I can't wait forever for this whatever the algorithm is, for that to change. That's ridiculous. Let me show you why I'm going to be putting my panels there soon. I can't wait for this clock to fully stabilise on temperature. That sun's going to be up and above that tree and shining on this chair probably within the next 5 or 10 minutes. I want to get my solar panel, charging my battery pack, my power bank. I didn't actually use any of the power bank last night, so it should have roughly, it's got roughly enough power in there to charge a phone. I'm guessing about 20% from a good day in the sun, unused overnight. I had about 70% on the phone last night, and Didn't use it hardly at all. I had it on a real... My phone has 2 power saving modes, and I switched to the most... What would you call it? The most extreme power saving mode. I just had videos playing with the screen off, so just audio. And in this extreme power saving mode. It uses less than 2 percentage points per hour while doing stuff. I'm going to be using that a little bit more over winter, now that I've experimented with it and played with it. When I first tried it, I thought it was too extreme, but I've discovered I can add apps as like exceptions. So I can have like my video playing apps. Connect online, download videos, disconnect, ultra power saving mode, and then just set these videos playing, but turn the screen off. About 1.5 percentage points per hour. If I have 30%, sorry, if I have 50% battery on the phone, it tells me when I first switch over it, it's gonna last, it says like 60 or 70 hours. And then I put on a slightly more higher power draining kind of app, like a video player. Even though I'm turning the screen off, it's doing something. So it reduces the effectiveness of the power saving mode. But yeah, no, it's impressive. So I'm going to be doing that a lot more now over winter. Listening to videos rather than watching videos. But getting the power into the power banks and not using it when on the good days. Don't use them. And then on the bad days, being economical in case you get 2 bad days on the trot. I think now, if I had 2 good days of sun, excuse me, 2 good days of sun, followed by 2 poor days, I think I can get through. If I'm judicious with my usage. If we don't have the 2 leading days beforehand, or if we have a 3rd bad day, then we'll run out. And I'll just be listening to a transistor radio on proper batteries rather than solar powered. But I'll survive. I went 4 or 5 months with nothing last year. Remember, when it went dark, my day was over. It wasn't like now, my day is over, I get into bed, I put YouTube videos on, you know? Or I choose to download YouTube videos and just listen to the audio. I didn't have any of this last year. I didn't have a phone. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Tina. The 2 ladies who clubbed together and bought me the phone. Can't thank you enough, ladies. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the both of you. And thank you. Didn't have any of that. So if I had to go a day or 2 now without, what the hell, you know? It's probably not as simple as I'm saying, because I've become accustomed to having it. But still, I would manage. If nothing else, I can just in the dark and just curl up in bed in the warm with my doggy. I can make a hot water bottle. Thank you, Karen, for the hot water bottle. And I got a couple that are homemade just from pop bottles. But Karen bought me a proper hot water bottle. Thank you, Damien, for all that you did. And Roger, who gave me the barbecue and the bottles. And Damien for getting him to give them to me. Cheers to both of you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys. I'm going to do a year in review, covering as much of this as I can remember, and all of the people that I can thank from along the journey. And I'll apologise now for anyone that I missed, because I will. My memory isn't what it once was. And I'm not saying it was ever great, but it's not as good as it was. Okay folks, I'm getting cold. I'm going to have to go in. Later. Okay folks, Friday night about 6:15. Let's have a look at this sky. Watch this. It's spectacular. It's only a light kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's got lilacs and indigos and violets, I guess, I don't know. With some redness obviously. Pink. I don't know. Oh, I'm trying to hold the camera steady while I've got a dog pulling at me. But isn't that lovely? Tina girl, you've been a damn nuisance. Stop it. Stop it. That's absolutely lovely. Let's get a bit closer. Right, closer to the sky. No, closer to the cliff's edge here. Tina, gonna get annoyed, darling. Let me show you the nuisance. Here she is, bane of my life. Look, we're on a shorter lead nowadays because I had to cut some off to, it kept snapping. She pulls and pulls and eventually it gives and snaps. I've had to shorten the leash. And I couldn't, there's another probably 6 or 7 meters in this rolled up bit. But it's been rolled up and tied up that long I can't untie it. Can't get in there and loosen any off. But look at this. That's pretty, that's pretty. Okay folks, it's just a nice Friday night. There's nothing over where the sun's actually setting. I guess there isn't much cloud around. Over here we've got maybe a haze, a sea mist or something. It's quite cool. Okay folks, we're coming towards the end of the video. If I could just ask you to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and maybe join us on a Sunday where we do a live broadcast, a weekly podcast covering the events in the life of a tramp, the successes, the failures and other happenings in the life of one man and his dog. Okay folks, back to the video. But okay, that's it for now guys. From Tina, oh we're zoomed in. From Tina and from me, Delta Mike, out.